Welcome to the No Kidding Podcast. My name's Andrew.
My name's Lisa. And
this is the No Kidding Podcast.
That's all there is to it. You guys are our friends.
And this is the No Kidding Podcast.
And this is the No Kidding. Okay. Good night. Goodbye. Thank you for coming.
The end.
We were just talking about random stuff. Nothing really important at this point. Nothing we talk about.
Don't worry about it, guys. You didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Nothing we talk about is important. But
There's your title.
Yeah, nothing we talk about is important. I guess one thing we should probably mention, since it is kind of a new development, or maybe we shouldn't mention it. Maybe we'll just see if anybody notices. And
the what, audio cues?
And they won't keep us, they won't be like, you said 30 minutes. So yeah, maybe we'll see if you guys can figure it out. We're changing something up on the podcast a little bit. If you notice it, you notice it. If you don't, you don't. Oh, also, it won't be interrupted by our every episode sponsor that we have with Anchor. So get ready for that. Get lucky, because I know you loved that one.
Who's getting lucky?
It was special to me. Every time it came on, I was like, oh, that's our sponsor. That's our funny little bit we did. But the sponsorship ran out, so it is what it is.
Nice.
We made a grand total of like $7 over 3 years.
Oh man,
over 3 years.
We're making it.
So, thank you.
Hey, where's my cut?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well,
I haven't seen a penny of that $7.
We have to get up to 25 before we can even withdraw it. So we need some more
Makes
sponsors, you guys. Spread the word. Get us some listenership so we can, raise the stakes a little bit. Anyway, so I was just talking about Mario because I recently watched Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And it made me think of it because you were talking about Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt does the voice of Mario.
No.
That is my trivia for the night.
Yeah, there was some controversy around that because
really?
When the trailer first came out, it was just a weird, I think it was just that they picked some weird moments to include in the trailer that were just very him doing a pseudo Brooklyn accent, but it wasn't all the way. It was half committing to a Brooklyn accent, and it was just kind of what is this? A lot of people were this is a terrible choice.
Well, it's weird because I was trying to figure it out the whole time. I was who? At first I thought it was that oh gosh, what's his name? He's kind of a really brash comedian who dresses up and he does Borat. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yes, I thought it was him at first because
really?
I don't know, I was just thinking an Italian accent, and he's pretty, and it sounded like him doing the accent kind of thing.
Okay. His accents usually are pretty outlandish, but I guess he could do it more toned down.
But then I was thinking they probably wouldn't get him for this movie, so.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of big names attached to that, Keenen Michael Key and Jack Black and Charlie Day, and there's a lot of people in this. It was surprising. Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, I really didn't recognize most of them, but I'm sure they're big.
You're I don't know who any of those people are.
I mean, I know who some of them are, but...
Have you ever seen School of Rock?
Yes, yeah. Why? Are they in all of those?
No, that's Jack Black.
Oh.
Have you ever seen Always Sunny?
Yes. Oh, is that the girl?
Do you... No. That's Anna Taylor-Joy.
Oh. Yeah.
Luigi is Charlie from Always Sunny.
Oh, okay. So, but who's the girl? Peach.
Anna Taylor-Joy, she is in a lot of stuff. I can't think of any of them on the top of my head. I
stumped you. Okay, now that I see her picture, I recognize her. She was in The Queen's Gambit, which I watched and I really liked. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, she's in a few things. I didn't know she was in The Menu.
Well, all right, we can change topics since I doubt people.
I also kept calling her Anna Taylor-Joy. It's Anya Taylor-Joy. I didn't know that.
Oh, Anya. Well, it was cool. It was cool. I was doing it for research because I've just been asked multiple times to watch it, so I finally did. So what have you been up to? You had a birthday recently?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a pretty stellar birthday. It was nice and quiet. That's how I like
I was
it.
gonna say, yeah, this one was kind of a quiet one.
I mean, who blast out for their 32nd birthday?
People do every birthday, you know?
Yeah, true. But
depends.
you know, it was legit. We did go out like one night and did like there's a place, it was really cool. There's a place that I knew of and I've been to that's like it's a bar and you just pay like an $8 cover fee and then you can play all the arcades in the bar, which there's like a ton of them.
Wow.
It's called Ready Player One, or no, that's the movie. It's just called Player One at like kind of near Disney Springs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a super cool place, and they have like all sorts of. They have like tons of retro games, but they also have like stuff at the bar. So like lining, there's basically a bunch of TVs above the back of the bar, playing like GameCube and like kind of that generation of consoles, like PlayStation 2 and stuff. So you can play like quote unquote more modern games, and then they even have like the latest consoles and stuff in like a little lounge area. You actually have to, I think you have to pay an extra fee to play those because you have to like rent the controllers and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really cool because they have like little cups next to each of the arcade cabinets, like bolted to the side. So cup holders, I should say. And so you can just like drop your cups in there, and so you can always have a beer with you, and then just like slap them there on the side and like go play whatever, like the original Mario or Terminator or some game that I found called like Spy Racer.
Oh yeah,
be interesting.
Heard of that.
Lurvin defeated me in that's my wife defeated me in Killer Instinct, which is her favorite fighting game.
Dangerous.
So it was unfair. But that was really cool. And then we had that was a surprise from my wife, and as well as this place, which is super cool. It's called like what was it called? It was like K barbecue or something. But yeah, it was it's a Korean barbecue and hot pot place combined. So you could do like all of the table side cooking activities. Have you ever been to? Because I know we've been to a Korean barbecue place, but have you ever been to a hot pot?
A hot pot? That sounds familiar. I've been to a melting pot.
Is that like the fondue thing?
Yeah.
Okay, it's sort of similar, but you basically have everybody has a burner in front of them, and then they basically give you a bowl of soup broth, and then you put it on your little burner, and it like heats up the soup, and then you literally just right there will grab. They basically like you order ingredients essentially, and then you like make your own soup right in front of you. So you like drop some ramen in there, you drop some like bok choy, some shrimp to cook up in there, and then you just like wait for it to cook, and then you just start eating.
Now, what happens if you really hate what you make because you are not a chef, so you don't really know what flavor profiles go together?
I feel like it's like an accelerated hot pot, right? Or hunter spot. Remember our hunter spot episode?
Yeah, came full
so like the infinite soup that you just keep putting stuff into, and then the flavor evolves over time.
Yeah.
It's like that, but in the short term, you like take a couple bites, and then if it's not what you like, you just put other stuff in it.
You just keep adding stuff until it.
Yeah, you just keep adding different stuff.
Okay. Well, that sounds good though.
But yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And
it's kind of like DIY hibachi.
Yeah, makes sense. That sounds pretty good. And like, I guess depending on what you use in your soup, it costs different because it's like if you use certain higher quality meats or something. Is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can order basically the menu. Like I said, is like ingredients. So they have a lot of price range of different meats that you can choose from and stuff like. It's usually really thin cuts so that they cook pretty quickly.
Well, yeah. What did your hot pot turn out? How did it turn out?
It turned out pretty good. The thing was that we shot for the moon and we did both. We did both the hot pot and the Korean barbecue. So my attention was split between them, and so by the end, like the soup had really reduced, gotten very thick, and the noodles kind of overcooked. So that's a downside. But when they were in their prime, excellent, very good.
Nice.
I put some shrimp in there. I had some bok choy, like I said. Like that was the things I picked. Obviously, that's what I mentioned. But there was other stuff like bulgogi, some beef bulgogi, and chicken and other stuff. I don't know, a lot of different stuff.
That's cool.
Oh, and they had a whole sauce bar that you could like go and they also had desserts and appetizers there, so you get like egg rolls, and then you could like build your perfect sauce. That was more for the barbecue portion of it. But there was some like soy sauce and stuff that you could put in your soup. And then like some cookies, cakes, ice cream, and stuff and it was all like included in the price because it's kind of like a buffet thing.
Oh, cool. Was that the ramen place you were telling me that you went to? Or was that something, or did you also go to a ramen place recently?
I went to, I didn't go to a ramen place on my birthday, or, well, it was near my birthday, I guess. It wasn't my official birthday celebration, but I guess it was like on the same week. And obviously my wife is like, well, what do you want? It's your birthday week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just genuine. It's one of my staples. I go there a lot. It's really good. Great place downtown Orlando. Can't recommend it enough. They're actually like a chain, so you can find them in a lot of different places. Saw a few in California while I was there.
Really? Oh, they're everywhere. Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like you had a good birthday. It's the time of giving, so you'll be giving all year at some point, one time, randomly from me. You'll get something because I forgot to get.
Oh, okay.
I didn't forget. That's the wrong usage of words. I did not get you a birthday present, and so my philosophy, which I shared with you, but this is for the viewers, is that why would you want to give a gift on an expected day where they're expecting it? It just doesn't hold the same value. But imagine when you're just sitting there randomly on some day where you're kind of having a crappy day, or maybe you're having a good day, and you're just like, could this day get any better? And then you wake up and you walk out your front door and bam, there's a present waiting for you. And it's
so you're going to say somebody sneaks up behind me and they're like, boom, present.
That could have some dire consequences. You don't want to die randomly. So yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel. So, he doesn't know when it's coming. He doesn't know what's going to be. He doesn't even know if it's actually going to be coming. I mean,
But now I'm nervous. I'll be relieved when I finally can stop looking over my shoulder.
Now you're just anxious until that moment. You're like, it's like when somebody's waiting because somebody's chasing them and they never know when they're going to catch them.
You're like, I'll get you at some point.
Okay, maybe that idea.
Now expecting.
Maybe the idea wasn't such a good one. Maybe it's actually going to induce anxiety and cause a lot more problems.
No, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's funny. So that's the birthday wrap up.
Oh, sorry. Were we not? Let's not get demonetized.
No, but they are coming out with a new Indiana Jones. Did you see this?
I don't know what you're talking about. That was an uncopyrighted song I was just saying.
Oh, well, I didn't get it. I just thought of Indiana Jones for a second because I was like, I need an adventure. So
you're like, you know what has music as good as that?
Who?
Indiana Jones.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I thought they were like rebooting it with Shia LaBeouf, but yeah. I mean, I guess they were trying to, but now they're going to do it again, I guess.
Yeah, but this is like it's more like the original ones. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. But I think it's the last one. Like, I think something happens where it cannot continue, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Sure.
It's just a rumor, but
the world explodes.
Something happens, yeah. But it's coming next month in June. I shouldn't what's the word? Time ourselves or date ourselves.
Oh yeah.
However, what else about, I guess we're talking movie. Oh, well, I was going to, because I've been watching all of the Star Wars content out there. Really.
Oh, really?
I mean, we've gone deep, okay? It started with just, I don't know what it started with. I think
probably Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think because years and years, I don't know if it's years, but like my partner, his family was really into Mandalorian, and they've been asking us forever to watch it, and we were just kind of like, oh, and plus, like, we felt like it was kind of a commitment because we thought it was a lot longer. Like, we thought there was a lot more episodes for some reason. But anyways, so we got into that, but then we realized, oh, this is part of this like time period in the Star Wars realm. And so then we watched, like, we were going to watch like that time period, but then we're like, no, like, if we're going to watch it, we got to go from the beginning. This is more Mike than me. Okay. Like, and he's very much like, let's go in order. So then we started going in order, and then we realized, oh, well, we also have to watch all these like separate series in order to fully understand, because I don't know if you've watched The Mandalorian, but have you watched Obi-Wan? Kenobi?
I have.
Okay, so like for whatever reason, they decided to put part of the series of Mandalorian in Obi-Wan, which we learned like after we had almost started the next series, and we're like, we don't understand what's going on. Why don't we understand what's going on? And then we realized, oh, you have to watch this to get the rest of this. So anyways.
Do you mean like the Boba Fett stuff?
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry. It was Boba Fett, not Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You think like,
yeah,
you're like Mandalorian. Yeah, see, you're getting
I'm
all mixed
already
up.
confused.
So you're like, we got a Mandalorian and then maybe Obi-Wan, but then definitely the next Mandalorian. But wait, what happened in between? We got to do Boba Fett.
Exactly. So.
And then Andor. Where does Andor fit in?
Well, we're currently watching Andor. That's the one we're on right now.
Nice.
But we finished all of the movies. We're done with the movies now.
Did you do Rogue One?
Yeah.
Can't be watching Andor if you haven't.
Maybe we haven't.
No, wait. Yeah, you gotta watch Andor first, and then watch.
That's what's happening. Okay, yeah.
Then watch Rogue One.
So that's where we're at. We're at Andor, and then I think, yeah, like you said, we're gonna go. I thought we were done with the movies, but I guess not. I don't know.
Well, actually, I'm assuming Andor isn't done. Spoiler, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I assume they haven't. They're going to do another season, so now you got to wait for all the other seasons to come out before you watch.
Of all of these shows. Also, like I heard, this is just a rumor that they are not going to do Star Wars movies anymore. They're just going to do shows, which
I feel like they're
confusing.
they just spin off in all these different directions. I think one of the things that I think they've just seen a lot more success in the shows, and I think that's largely because like the Star Wars universe lends itself really well to telling like a lot of like spin-off story kind of things, but then like the core things that I think a lot of people fell in love with the original series were perfectly captured by the original series. Like a lot of the themes of like the movies of like good versus evil and the Force and mystic kind of stuff mixing with sci-fi, all that kind of stuff was just like done really, really well in a movie format in those original movies. So I feel like they're just always going to be chasing that. Like even this prequels and stuff, like the other stuff done by George Lucas, just weren't able to like hold a candle to the original series. So I feel like they just keep making movies, and they keep seeing like people be like, oh, but it's not really like, it's not like the Star Wars I remember, like, that original. It's never able to capture like what the original series did. But then these other, or the original trilogy did. But then these other series kind of like, they don't have that baggage. They don't feel like they need to be a whole movie and a need to capture things about the Jedi or things about the Empire necessarily. Like they can have those elements and they can mix them together, but it's not like you couldn't like do a main, like call it like an episode of, how they do episode 1, 2, 3, 4 of the movies.
Yeah.
You couldn't call it like one of the main core movies, like episode 7, and have it be not have it be about Jedi and versus the Empire. I feel like it's like that's what people expect, but it's also so much what people expect that they're not going to be impressed or engaged.
Right.
So they're kind of like in a catch-22 there, where I don't think they know what to do with the movie.
Yeah.
And they keep running into that every time they try and make one. So they're having so much success with the shows. They're just like, why not? And I remember when Disney originally acquired them, they were like, there's going to be a movie every year, and then they were like, there's going to be a show every year.
Yeah.
They just kind of like switch gears. And
that's kind of what I was thinking too, because when we were reading up on it, it was kind of mostly saying that exactly, that the movies just got a lot of hate from mainly like the Star Wars fans. And they couldn't really do any right with it. Like they would change it, try to make it more for them, and then they would still get mad about it because all these other things. And
just be rehashing, or they wouldn't get it quite right, and they would, somebody would be like, "I can't believe you did that to the Force." And it's just like, well,
right.
we have to come up with some interpretation.
I know.
We have to ostracize somebody's idea of what the Star Wars.
But then I was
is.
also reading that that there were people who were born after, or like were growing up around the time when those the newer Star Wars came out, and so for them. That
like the prequels,
like the prequels, like with Anakin as a kid, and everything, and they're like, no, I like that. That's what I loved, because it was like more nostalgic.
That's what they identified with.
Yeah, exactly. So now they're like, I don't see what the big deal is, but then the original Star Wars fans are just up in arms. So it's just one of those debatable things. nobody's ever going to agree on. So I think that's why they went, like you said, the show route. But I saw that they're coming out with another one soon about one of the girls. It's a female lead, and it's the girl who was in Mandalorian, and she was
Bo-Katan?
She was like helping. Yeah, I think that's it.
Katie Sackhoff?
How do you say it?
I don't know. Katie Sackhoff, I think is how you say it.
No, I don't think that's it. It's like a new, new Star Wars show coming. New Star Wars series called Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah. That would be pretty dope. Okay, so one of the things that, and this is probably a telltale sign that the move or the shows are the right move for them, is that a lot of original Star Wars fans, and it kind of brings together, honestly, the original Star Wars fans and the prequel lovers, is the Clone Wars show. Have you ever seen that? It's like an animated kids show.
Yeah.
But it actually, I guess, explored a lot of and established like a lot of like the deeper lore of Star Wars, and like did a really good job of like fleshing out other characters and other parts of the story. And I guess it's beloved by a lot of the fans. So that's where she's from, I believe.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting that they're going to start like incorporating more of that into this like next generation of like more adult, like realism style Star Wars shows.
Yeah. So we're on this journey. We're for live or die. We're finishing it, I guess. But it is a commitment, and I'm kind of surprised that it took this long, to be honest. Like, I thought there was a couple times where I was certain that I'd watched like some of those movies, and I realized I'd never seen them. So
the movies, like which ones? Interesting.
Like not the one with Natalie Portman, but the next one. I think it's the Clone Wars one.
Oh, really? You never saw that?
Yeah.
You might have just forgotten it, because I think that's the one where it's like a lot of politics.
Well, that's true. Wait, what was it called? It was called Revenge of the Sith. I never saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw Attack of the Clones.
It was Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, and Attack of the Clones, I think. Right?
Yeah.
That's the order of the prequels?
I don't know. Star Wars? The Phantom Menace. Yeah, that one I did see. That was the last one that I saw. And I hadn't seen any.
The Metachlorians one.
Yeah, I hadn't seen any of them after that. And it was interesting.
Pod
like
racing.
I honestly thought they were good, but what do I know?
I think they weren't the worst, but they, like I said, they had that same problem with that the newer movies have. But they also had, like, I think George Lucas wanted to do more deep lore, and so he was doing. That's where it got like really political, and there was a lot of talking scenes and people just like making he's trying to do a lot of subtle storytelling and like dipping into like the deeper lore of the universe and stuff in like a more drawn out way, and it ended up feeling like really boring. So he tried to like go like make up for it essentially by having like crazy action scenes, like hyperactive like lightsaber battles and like crazy massive droid army like fights, and it instead of like reversing all of that like boringness, it just like emphasized it. It was like dun, 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 people fighting with like dual lightsabers and like crazy crap happening and like sparks flying everywhere, and then it cuts like a Senate meeting and they're like, but the Empire, the New Republic should be different, and I think that we need a new senator in the seat. And it's just like,
oh my God.
It's like you're flipping channels back and forth between like CNN and like some crazy like Marvel movie.
Right.
It's just, it doesn't really work. So yeah,
it's true.
I don't know.
I can totally agree with that. There were some times where I was like, what the heck is going on? Why is there so much flashing lights? Why is there so much going on? It was a little bit too much sometimes. And then other times I kind of got lost in the story and I was like, oh, I really have to pay attention to what's happening. And so I will say from that perspective, there were several people complaining about how each movie would like completely change their like the way that there wasn't a lot of consistency in direction and like production and everything, and that threw a lot of people off. So I mean, I get that too. But yeah. I felt like in the last the three newest movies, I feel like we need a name for that era. The new movies, I guess, the sequels, if we call the other ones prequels. Yeah.
Where it's all revolving around episode like 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
but the sequels, I guess, I felt like they just had this huge issue when they tried to, I think it was kind of a cool idea, but when they tried to like switch up directors in the middle, and I think it was Rian Johnson like took the like middle movie, and then it was just weird. It went in a different direction, and so much so that they were like, we got to go back, and so they got J.J. Abrams back, I think, and then it was like, I feel like the whole third movie was just undoing what the second movie did, and then like telling the story that he wanted to originally tell, beginning with the first one, but instead of having a middle movie, he had to undo the middle movie.
Right.
So it was basically crammed the whole third movie into like the last 10 seconds or like the last 10 minutes of the third movie. Yeah. And it was just like,
that's true. God. That's true. And one thing that someone else mentioned was that, in a lot of the newer movies, and sometimes in some of the shows, is like, they dumb it down a lot where they have to explain everything, and instead of allowing silence and like body language and the emotions of the actors to like fill in the gaps for people and let them sort of gain their own knowledge and information based on the scenes and stuff that's happening, rather than that, like and I didn't really notice that until he picked out scenes, because we were watching like a video about it. And he picked out scenes and he showed it. And I was like, that is so true. Like, it really did take away from, and it was kind of, you didn't really have to pay that much attention because eventually someone was going to explain it verbally to you. And they were saying that, like, that's why a lot of people really love Mandalorian, is because, like, Mandalorian himself doesn't really speak that much. You have to infer a lot from the movements of the camera and the emotions that he's showing and the emotions between the characters, and they don't really explain a lot of the show, just like the older like original movies were, and so it draws you in more. I think that's partially an issue with like modern movie making. Like, obviously I think The Mandalorian just makes up for it with good cinematography, but like and just good storytelling, probably bringing a little from like the older movies. But I think a lot of modern movies are like that, especially action movies. They're just kind of like, listen, we're just going to spoon feed you the plot, and then we're going to do some cool like action scenes and stuff. Right. So
it's kind of disappointing in that regard.
Well, it's now the end of this chapter. May the force be with you.
We're done? Is this it? We're out?
We're out.
We're outie.
Check
in
3000 next time. If you want more, or just a click away, go to the next episode. Bye.
I love you, that's why I say cheerio, not goodbye. Remember our old tune, be back soon.
What do you think of the Gungans?
What are the Gungans?
The Gungan War, where they were throwing crystal balls at each other.
What? I don't remember that at all. I guess.
No thoughts?
Did I fall asleep? I don't know.
It's the Gungans are like Jar Jar Binks, his people.
Oh, the Jar Jar Binks situation. Oh yeah, I wasn't a big fan of
their
Jar
whole
Jar
war
Binks himself
and the bubble fights.
Yeah, I mean that was whatever. It was interesting, But I wasn't really a fan of Jar Jar Binks himself. He was super annoying.
Did you hear the rumor that he was supposed to be the original Sith bad guy?
No.
That like he was just playing dumb the entire time. Like there's a couple scenes where he has like weirdly fast reactions, and it seems to actually be manipulating the characters to do really dumb stuff, like in the guise of being a buffoon himself. But a lot of people were like, it almost is like he's being manipulative, and I think a lot of people were thinking he was originally meant to like turn on them.
Really? Well,
yeah. Be like an undercover, like
he was way
Sith.
too dumb for that, I would think. Unless he was playing dumb.
But that's it. Exactly. It was over the top. It was to the point where it was like, no, this is fake.
Okay.
That would have been cool, right?
That would
have been an interesting twist.
Yeah, nice twist. That's true.
And then it would have made him a likable character.